Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I am Ali Mamang, and my presentation topic is the post 9/11 literature. Especially, we are going to discuss the themes and characteristics of the post 9/11 literature. So let's start. First of all, we have the introduction. Post 9/11 literature refers to a body of literary works that emerged after the September 11th, 2001 attacks in the United States. This was the incident which took place in the United States in the city of New York, when there were the four plane, five plane crash and suicide plane crash in the United States. And after that incident, the literature was produced, and that literature is considered as the post 9/11 literature. Post means after. After this incident, this literature often reflects the complex emotions, experiences, and socio-political changes that followed the 9/11 incidents. This literature has the complex emotions, experiences, and socio-political changes. The writers of this post 9/11 literature tried to show the emotions, experiences, and the socio-political changes that followed the 9/11 incidents. So let's start further. So how we should explore the events of 9/11 from the historical perspective, that what was happened on that day. So on the 11th November 2001, that's why this incident took place. That's why it is considered as the 9/11 attacks. So basically there were four, five, there were the so basically there were four commercial airlines were hijacked by the hijackers, and two of them were crashed into the twin towers, which are known as the World Trade Centers in the New York City. And both the buildings of World Trade Centers collapsed after few hours. Few hours, and the third plane was crashed in the Pentagon near Washington D.C. And fourth plane was crashed in a vacant ground or mountains, because the passengers of that plane resisted, and hence it was crashed on a untargeted place. And the three planes were crashed in the two of them were crashed in the Twins Tower, and third one is on the Pentagon near Washington D.C. So this incident shocked American society and the American authorities. So it's not possible. Now we have the major works of the post 9/11 literature. So it's not possible to discuss all the post 9/11 literature, but we are going to see these three novels by the different writers, and after that we will go towards the major themes and the characteristics of the post 9/11 literature. So at first we have the Reluctant Fundamentalists. This novel is written by the Mohsen Hamid, a Pakistani writer. It was written in 2007. This novel revolves around the story of Changiz, a character from the novel. And when in the starting he went to America. There he studied, and after his completion of his study, he got the job in America, and he was living his life very peacefully. But all of a sudden, the incident of 9/11 took place, and after that, his whole life changed, because the behavior of people, American people, and the American authorities had been changed, and they affected him very much, and he was unable to live in the America. That's why he decided to come back Pakistan. And then when he came back Pakistan, here he was associated with a professor who was the anti-America, and who was doing the propaganda against the American policies, especially in the Iraq and in the Afghanistan. After the 9/11, America invaded Afghanistan and in Iraq. So that professor was doing the propaganda against America, and he was associated with him, and he was also become an anti-America. And this whole story of the novels was first narrated by the Changiz himself, and he was telling to an unknown American that he tried to show the writer tried to show that how the life of Changiz has been affected by the 9/11 incident, and the behavior of the people towards a Muslim. And on the second, we have the submission by Amy Waldman. This is the novel written by Emily Waldman in 2011. So after that, this novel revolves around the story that after the 9/11, American authorities declared that they are going to make a memorial for the people who died in the attacks of 9/11. So many architects participated in the participation, and they were presenting their architect design, and the authorities had to had to chose one of them, and they chose the architect design of a one man. But when everyone knew that the that man is an Muslim whose name is Mohammed Khan, then everyone say that how can we give him a chance of making memorial to a Muslim whose the designer is a Muslim, although he was also American, but they were didn't think like this. They say that the people say, and authorities and politicians just say that he's a Muslim and we cannot give him a chance to make a design for memorial. And the whole story revolves around that how these complexities and controversies went go ahead. And this novel explore the theme of identity, cultural tensions, and the impact of the 9/11 on the societies. And on the third, we have The Falling Man by Don DeLillo. And this novel revolves around the story of Keith Nedeker. And basically, he was a survivor. He was the only survivor of the World Trade Center collapse. When the towers collapsed, he survived somehow. The novel weaves together with Keith's experiences with the others affected by the attacks. DeLillo delves into the psychological and emotional impact of the event on an individual and society. This work explores the theme of trauma, identity, and the search for meaning in the face of profound world. And now we have the themes of post 9/11 literature. First of all, we have the identity and belonging. The 9/11 attacks put a huge impact on the people and on the societies. Many people were living in the West. They were Muslim, but as well were living in the different countries. They had the nationalities, but they were they were Muslims. Hence, they were treated as the fundamentalists, and such kind of things were happening with them. So this was the work of the post 9/11 literature reflects the identity and belonging theme very well. And the second is trauma and grief. The the affected people of the 9/11 got through the trauma and grief, went through the trauma and grief. They bear such kind of things like the deaths of the people and the war and the terror. So this was the main theme, and the security and surveillance third theme. Before the 9/11, there was no there were no increased security on the airports and on the other institute. But after this incident, every country increased the security level on their interns and the exit point. Security had been increased after the 9/11. So the work of post 9/11 literature shows that the security and surveillance has been increased. And global politics and terrorism is a major theme of post 9/11 literature. The politicians and the politics played a huge role in this whole era. And America declared the war against terror, and they declared that either the nations will be with us, or with the terrorists. And they invaded Afghanistan and Iraq. Unknowingly they increased terror more, especially in the Middle East and in the Afghanistan and Iraq and in the Middle East. And the five theme we have is Islamophobia and cultural tension. Islamophobia means a hatred towards Islam, and everyone treating Muslims and Islam as a fundamentalist as fundamentalist group, especially in the western side of the world. They were treating Muslims and the Islam and they were seeing them with the sight of a doubt that they are doing such kind of things. And the second part of this theme is cultural tension. The cultural tensions begin in the different cultures. The people from one culture and people from other culture, they have the tensions between them. And the last thing that we have is the media and representation. Media played a huge, huge role in this era from the 2001 to 2016 and 17 till the 2016 and 17. They build up the narrative and they sold the narrative, and they were doing many things, and they were representing people and the religion as these religions and these people are the fundamentals, and these are the like this. They were doing such kind of things, especially media from the western side. Now we have the characteristics. First characteristic is the trauma exploration. The post 9/11 literature explore the trauma and the grief of the people, that how they survived from this incident and how they were affected by the 9/11 attacks. And second is the global perspective. There were the many global perspectives towards 9/11. They were representing some nations and some religion as they are the fundamentalists, and they are doing such kind of things, and they declared the war against them, and they interfered in the interfered in the internal factor and internal affairs of the many countries. And the global perspective, they played global perspective, and they said that either you will be with us or with the terrorists, and such kind of things they do, especially in the America and the European societies. And the third one that we have is the fragmented narratives. Fragmented narratives mean the different narratives from the different sides of the world. Every people has the different perspective and we different viewpoint for the 9/11 attacks, and they were giving their point of view that this will be like this or this will like this. They were representing their own affair, their own point of view, and in the depth they were not the point of view, but they were their own benefits. And the fourth one that is characteristic is identity crisis. Many people were living in the European. They have the nationality, but they were the Muslim or the faith, believe in the Islamic faith. But they were also have the nationalities, but they were treated as the Muslim. That's why people suffered from the identity crisis, that either we are Muslim or we are the nation of any country. In a movie, Bollywood movie, the My Name is Khan has been made on it, that shows that this movie has a famous slogan that my name is Khan and I am not a terrorist. It shows that I am a Muslim, but I am not a terrorist, and Islam is a religion, and it is not a terrorist group. If a terrorist there, if a terrorist, there is a terrorist, then it means that he is not a he does not belong to any religion. And the last one that we have is the political engagement. Political engagement means there were politicians who were engaged, too much engaged in the in the 9/11 attacks. They were finding their own benefits, and they were trying to save their own political character, and they were engaged in it, and they were suggesting the authorities to do like this, and the many things they were doing. And the political engagement, we can say that when the America invaded Afghanistan and Iraq, there they played their role as a political engagement. They do many things in Afghanistan and Iraq, and ultimately they were here for their own purpose and their own benefits. They were not the war against terror and such kind of things. They invaded and they disturbed in a region of the world, and they were trying to fight against terrorism, but they killed many people more for their just two towers. Thank you. This was our topic. I hope you understood something.